Houses are very expensive in Atlanta. I think we found one of the reasons why 3 corporations own over 38,000 houses in Atlanta. Learn about that.
Right now, a recent study found that just 3 corporations own nearly 38,000 homes in metro Atlanta. Channel 2's Michael Downa is in Henry County, and he found that in some counties, corporations are buying up more than half of entire neighborhoods.
When you take a look at the neighborhood behind me, you would never usually guess that most of these homes are now rentals, but it's becoming a more and more common sight, as in counties like Paulding and Henry, nearly 1 in every 10 homes is now owned by a corporation. It's a change that some neighbors say they've seen firsthand.
It means a great deal to be able to own this and leave something for my family.
For Darren Clark, he achieved a lifelong goal when he bought a home in this Henry County neighborhood. But over the past few years, things have changed.
I'd say at least about 60% of the homes around me are probably owned by the corporations.
It's a growing trend of homes owned by corporations.
Insanity. And there are no rules against this. Not only are there not rules against this, there aren't rules against other foreign bodies buying land and buying houses in the United States. You might be competing with some Chinese company. You could be competing with some Swiss company in order to buy a house. We can't find out why houses aren't affordable. We want our young people to be able to afford houses. I wonder what the main culprit is. But they allow this to happen. They allow corporations to buy half of newly developed neighborhoods. As soon as they come up, they're the first bidder. You think you're gonna win?
People, with just 3 companies owning nearly 38,000 homes in the metro area.
And look how generic and boring all these company logos are, right? There's obviously a trend here. There's a potential that they might be connected. It might be at least these two. They might be the same company. Invitation Homes, Progress Residential, Main Street Renewal. What does any of that even mean? We live in an age of nothing but shell corporations.
Area.
I think that's a sad state of affairs that these companies will be able to price out the average home buyer.
This is ultimately unlike anything we have ever seen before.
Georgia State professor Taylor Shelton did the study, and he says when corporations control a large market share, that allows them to control prices, include junk fees, and neglect maintenance.
So that means that these companies are able to get away with a lot more than they would otherwise because there's no competition. They have essentially...
They are the HOA.
And other research backs up those statements, as a recent study from Georgia
They
State
are the HOA. They get to control who's there. And then when they do sell, I mean, they get to sell comparative to the houses selling next to them, right? Which might be $750K or whatever price that they bought it for. So they can try and justify a higher price being sold for the house. They're monopolizing small neighborhoods and selling them.
Tech found large landlords were 4 to 5 times more likely to have code complaints than their smaller counterparts.
When you're not a homeowner,
Surprise, surprise. You're less likely to enjoy living next to a house owned by a corporation than a house owned by a human, right? In some situations, both of them can suck. But I think I'd take the neighbor over BlackRock most days. It's not like the CEO's in there. It's not like you're getting some good networking opportunities.
because you're just renting, so you feel like it's not mine, so whatever.
For those like Darren, they want to see changes that give people a leg up over corporations, so that more of his neighbors can go back to being homeowners instead of renters.
It's going to be hard, a hard hill to climb to be able to dig out of, from underneath the corporations owning so many properties. They're just going to keep snatching them up.
Now, Senator John Ossoff has launched an investigation into corporate landlords, but he has not given an estimated time when there may be legislation associated with that investigation. We're in Henry County.
Because there won't be. They don't care. If there was a legislation, or if they desired to make a change with this, or they desired to put in some legislation towards changing this, they would have begun on it at the very least a long time ago. And the people that we did have working on it were replaced a couple months ago. And every 4 years, the people working on anything get replaced. So major bills or things that are truly important like this never actually get the attention that they deserve, or they never actually get done. They'll just be dust in the air, ghost in the air, smoke in the air, wind. And who really cares, right? Because the corporations are more important, right? Yeah. Anyway, y'all have a good day.